And welcome to the United Stand. Manchester United have won 5-1. It's the first time Manchester United have scored 5 goals in the Premier League since Sir Alex Ferguson's reign, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has done it in his very first game. But I thought we needed a centre-back to play attacking football. I thought we needed to spend more money to play attacking football. I thought we needed more dynamism and an effort to play more attacking football. Ooh, Jose, I bet you're not watching tonight. And I thought Paul Pogba was a virus. I thought Anthony Martial had bad effort levels. I thought Marcus Rashford wasn't ready. I mean, everything that could be blown away. I'm just so happy for Manchester United fans who in the last 2 months or longer have just been totally understanding that Manchester United's problems lay well 100% at the door, on the pitch, at Jose Mourinho's feet. And I don't like to sell somebody down the river, but he is going down the river with £20 million in his pocket, and he's absolutely took a massive L today. I said that the eyes were on the players today. The eyes were on the players today. They had to go out there, every single one of them, and put in at least an 8 out of 10 performance. Now, for a while, I thought De Gea was going to struggle because the team was so good, he had nothing to do. But he still produced 2 fantastic saves to get his 8 out of 10. And you know what? One of the great things about that performance as well is that not only have we beaten Cardiff 5-1, but he also got Phil Jones, Matic and Ashley Young to play well as well. I mean, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, you know, he's got a golden touch. He's got a golden touch. As Dan O'Keefe just said, Ole destroyed Cardiff. He just did. He just did. Apparently, he destroyed Cardiff, didn't he, when he was managing there? Well, he's gone back and destroyed him again. Fair play to Ole. But look, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer can come out, he can do press conferences, he can do it in his sleep. He knows what Manchester United's all about. He's won as the most famous thing we've ever won. He knows that. But you can talk the talk, can you walk the walk? And tonight, the players had to walk the walk that Solskjaer has been talking. And they did. They did. And I think Neil Custis in The Sun, Samuel Luckhurst in Manchester Evening News, and anybody else who's out there being a Mourinho sympathiser, just shut up. Seriously, you've got your opinion, but sometimes your opinion gets sat down and stamped with a massive capital L. And there can be nobody out there now saying that Jose Mourinho wasn't the virus at Manchester United. Those players have literally had 2, 3, 4 training sessions since Jose Mourinho was sacked. And they go out with the handbrake off and put a performance like that. And if anybody wants to say, oh, it's only Cardiff, well, only Leicester went to Chelsea and beat them today. Only Crystal Palace went to Man City and beat them today. One of the best teams the Premier League's ever had, actually, apparently. Cardiff aren't even in the bottom 3. And Cardiff would have fancied that today, and United made them look like the team I think they are. I don't think they're very good. But it's a first step for Manchester United. But I just want to say, Paul Pogba, today, world class. Absolutely world class performance. If that was Salah, De Bruyne, Hazard, the press would not be shutting up about them. Quite rightly. Quite rightly. Can we have another 90 minutes? I love it, says Josh Bates. Exactly. But I want to put love, warmth and appreciation on Paul Pogba. I do want to talk about whether there's a question mark over the players. I do want to talk about whether the players have suddenly improved and they should have been doing that under the Mourinho, like Roy Keane said. But I just want to say, Paul Pogba, smash that like button if he was your man of the match, because for me, he was absolutely sensational. And I've been saying it, Rants has been saying it, Flex has been saying it, a few of you have been saying it, but a few of you have been, you know, it's your opinion, having a go about Pogba. And I hope that some of you now, you don't have to flip to Pogba's side, but some of you now are seeing what the pro people of Pogba have been saying. That if you put him in a team that is built around him, that's got the protection in the midfield, and the licence to be more expressive, you'll get a better Paul Pogba. How many goals was he part of today? Definitely the first one, the foul. Definitely the pass to Herrera. Definitely involved in Martial's goal. Lingard's goal as well. Obviously not the penalty. So he's involved in 4 of our 5 goals. That's pretty impressive. And he put in a shift defensively. And he was making defensive headers. And he nearly scored from a corner himself. I think it was the complete performance from Paul Pogba today. And the brilliance about that is, I was a little bit concerned about Pogba because I've seen him play for France and be inconsistent. So the consistency thing does worry me about Pogba. But the one game he had to deliver today, he couldn't put in a 7 out of 10 or a 6 or a 7.5. It had to be bang on performance from minute 1 to minute 90 because the world's watching Pogba. Everybody wants to say that, I tell you what, the delete button will be being smashed in press offices all over the world tonight because they will have had the headline ready. It's not Mourinho's fault, it's Pogba's. Pogba can't perform. Mr. Inconsistent. Mr. Dab Merchant. And actually, he put in a performance today that haters or lovers have to say was absolutely superb. Superb. It's the first step. It's the first step for Ollie. It's the first step for Manchester United. It's the first step for Pogba. It's the first step for that team. And we shouldn't get carried away with ourselves. But what more could anybody have done today? Go away from home, win 5-1. And for people who say, wow, if Liverpool had played them, they would have beat them 10-1. Maybe you would. Maybe you would. But we're not Liverpool at the moment. We are a team that is long way off the title. We're a team that was 11 points off the top 4 today. We've cut that to 8 in one game, which is fantastic because of that Leicester result. But we haven't scored 5 Premier League goals since Sir Alex Ferguson's era. So what more, to expect us to do that on a manager's first game was far-fetched, and we've gone and done it. It's a fantastic performance for Manchester United, and I'm really pleased with everybody. I'm not going to be negative about anything. I mean, when that team news landed, I'm like, how is Eric Bailly not playing? He was man of the match against Liverpool, and you're picking Phil Jones. But Phil Jones had a good game. He did. Matic actually has obviously been told, get that ball moving quickly. Don't take so many touches. And he did it. And it really did work. And I thought everybody on the pitch for Manchester United was an 8 out of 10 today. 8 out of 10. Now, the next big thing to talk about is, and it's worth talking about, and then we never talk about it again because we don't need to, is there a question mark over the mentality of the players that they were trying today and they didn't try for Mourinho? Because a lot of people will say that. Man United Boy 13 says, my 3 man of the match candidates, Pogba, Rashford and Lindelof, all 3 were fantastic. I would even want to give a shout out to Herrera, so good. Well, we'll talk about that in a moment, but I personally do not believe that any of those players have let themselves down under Jose Mourinho. And I think the haters will say, oh, if they played like this under Jose, this would never have happened. Bollocks. I think it's bollocks because let's go back to October when Mourinho was hanging by a thread. And he stayed in a job for 2.5 months after that. Why did he stay in a job after that? Because 3-0 down against Newcastle at half-time, 2-0 down against Newcastle at half-time, Pogba and Martial interacted and scored a great goal. Chelsea, Martial scored goals. Martial scored goals in October for a man who basically has stalled his development for 2 years. Rashford and Martial, their career's going to go through the bloody roof now. I think in Martial, with that goal he scored, you saw a player that can be one of the world's best for the first time in about 2 years. Because he's playing in a system that suits him. And how many times have we said that over the years? You saw in Jesse Lingard today the return of Messi Lingard today. A year ago, we saw Messi Lingard for a month and then he disappeared because the manager plays restrictive ways. Rashford playing up front. You cannot. And I wish Romelu Lukaku all the best because I know he's going through a difficult time. And this is about football, what I'm about to say. You cannot bring Lukaku into that team. He can't play quick one-touch football. He's not quick. Lukaku's got to go on the bench. He can't play in that team. You've got to play that front. That front 4 of Lingard, Rashford, Martial and Pogba will cause teams problems. Whether it's good enough to be a title-winning team, maybe you need to invest in it a little bit. But for the next few months, it's a brilliant, brilliant concept. And it's one that we really, really do need to stick with. It was fantastic. But no, I don't agree that the players have let the manager down. If somebody wants to say, where's that performance been under Mourinho? It was never there because Mourinho's tactics book doesn't have a page for that performance. You look at United in that first half an hour, our passing was dreadful. Absolutely shit. It was terrible. Every pass we did was virtually off. But you know why it was off? Because it was rust. It was confusion. It was, we don't do this. And then after half an hour, they were like, oh, I like this. I can do this. And the brain starts to switch. And then this is going to happen more and more. But under Jose Mourinho, we didn't press. We didn't move the ball quick. We didn't want to play attacking football. It was slow. It was lethargic. And we didn't start off slow and lethargic. The intensity levels, the passion, the desire was 100% all game from every United player. But in the first half an hour, we struggled. We struggled to play that brand of football because we don't play that brand of football. And I think in the last 20 minutes, we struggled because we were tired and we're not used to it. But I said this in the preview. It's chalk and cheese. Mourinho's style of football compared to Solskjaer, compared to Pochettino, compared to Klopp. He's in Jurassic Park and they're living in the real world. You know, they really are. And the only thing they've got to do with dinosaurs is when they want to go down the Natural History Museum, whereas Dinosaur, he is in Jurassic Park with his old cap on. You know, Mourinho has been... And I really hope, because I am an empathetic person, I really hope Jose Mourinho's just decided I'm not watching any football this weekend, because that Pogba performance, because what was United all about in the last few weeks? It was all about Team Pogba, Team Mourinho, who's going to win. And Pogba today has just absolutely sat him down. He's annihilated him. It really is. I said it in the game. We were playing football. We were playing football properly today. And it's like playing snooker with a piece of spaghetti, isn't it? You know, today we were using a cue. It was good. It was good from United. I'm not going to get carried away and say that's a title winning team, because it's not. I still think that, I mean, people talk about how great Lindelof was. I want to be balanced and say there was a chance in the second half where it's a long ball from Cardiff and he cannot catch the centre forward. He's not getting back at him. And that lack of pace in the centre-back positions could cause us problems. I still think the midfield needs better players with Pogba. Both positions, Matic and Herrera. But Ollie's only got what he's got at the moment. And when you look at that midfield three, I've said before, Fred and Pereira don't look fit because Mourinho didn't keep them fit. He didn't use them. So I think he had to go with Matic, Herrera and Pogba, and he has to go with that at the moment. But look, if you'd have said a week ago, and this is the biggest thing, if you'd have said a week ago, we're going to lose to, well, we lost after that Liverpool game, that in a week's time, we're going to go to Cardiff and win 5-1, you'd have said, Mark, what are you smoking? You need to stop. And I would have had it as well. I would have said it as well. It's just the contrast is amazing and the positivity in the fan base is amazing. And we're starting to dream about top four now. And what I would say is, this morning we were 11 points off top four. 11 points at Christmas. It's massive. It's massive. I remember the year we won the title and Newcastle were 12 points clear at one point. That is spoken about now because it's an amazing comeback. If, and it's a massive if with two capital letters, if in May we are in the top four, you've got to seriously consider giving Solskjaer the job. That is how big it is if he does it. And I personally think it's almost mission impossible, simply because you come into a club that is on its arse, that is 11 points off top four, and you get, and also you're only a manager from Norway. You know, you're managing in the Norwegian league. Your only stint in a proper league was a disaster at Cardiff. You come in and take them to top four. That to me is unbelievable. And the reality is that tonight we're going to watch Match of the Day, because they won't show much of Liverpool because they played last night, so we forget about them. We're going to watch Match of the Day. We're going to watch City lose to Palace. Again, forget the Liverpool element because that'll upset you. We're going to watch Chelsea lose, which is more, you know, I hate to say it, we're not looking at first and second, we're looking at fourth. We're going to lose Chelsea, 11 points ahead of us. That's already down to 8 points. We've took that gap down by 25% in 90 minutes. And if, as I said, if by the Newcastle game, we're 5 points off top four, we got momentum, we got confidence, we're going to spend money in January, we could get top four out of this season. And if that happens, not only am I going to say Ole Gunnar Solskjaer should get the job, I'm also going to say that he should also get the... Ed Woodward should get some praise as well. Why shouldn't he? Ed Woodward should get some praise for that, because the change, I didn't think he was going to do it. I didn't think he would. I didn't think he would make that change at that time. So I think that's absolutely fantastic as well. But look, just, you know what? From a tactics point of view, I'll do a video tomorrow on this and the contrast between Manchester United, what we were like under Jose Mourinho and what we are like now. But to me, the intensity of the performance was absolutely fantastic. And you know what? We've took 3 points against Cardiff, and out of our next 3 games, that's the toughest away fixture, because Old Trafford is going to be rocking on Boxing Day and the game against Bournemouth, and I expect us to take 6 points from that. And I don't want to put expectations on Ollie, because it's not fair to do that. And we should not talk about top 4, and we should not talk about beating PSG. We can get those things, but if he does it, they are massive achievements from what he's taken over. But I do expect us to take 6 points from the next 2 games, because I think Old Trafford will be the 12th man, because they're going to absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. And you know, I'm just so happy for everybody who loves Manchester United Football Club to have this performance, to have this positivity. And I will say it for the 3rd time. That is the first time we've scored 5 goals in since Sir Alex Ferguson's days, which is absolutely huge for us to do that. And he's done it in his first game. And whatever happens, he's got that on his CV. Big Moss says, look at the togetherness now. Who was the virus? Look, Paul Pogba sat every hater down today. I don't care. He did. He absolutely did. Man United forever. Isn't it fitting we've moved on from the era of Dinosaur Jose to the Ice Age, because Ollie, Scandinavian, paints quite a picture. Great game. Kelvin Ali, thanks for the contribution. Static Matic has become automatic, says Imrano TV. Nicholas P. Jose ruled on fear and bad tactics. It's so clear now. Even Carrick didn't even really talk on the bench. It's not like they didn't try before. They were under a dictatorship. I agree with that. I think the players were trying. They were under a poor tactical manager that didn't suit our club. John G says, we've just witnessed the United way. So happy, Mark. We got our club back. We've got our club back, and they played the United way. And, you know, for all the people who said over the last 3 years, Mark, stop talking about the United way, things change, we're not going to do that anymore. They never should change. The United way never should change. People died for that. The Busby Babes, the team in the 60s, the 70s, even though we didn't win titles, we still played with width, we still played on the attack, and we still played exciting football. The Sir Alex Ferguson years, the years of being a cup team under Sir Ron. I've just knighted Ron Atkinson. Ron Atkinson, we've always been a team that plays attacking football, and we must always do that, and that's why today is really important. Sharath Kamath Fitness says, now I'm excited for Alexis Sanchez. I mean, yeah, we've got Sanchez to come back as well. 400k a week as well. Yeah, you're right. Pogba says, bang, ding, ow. My 3 man of the match candidates, we've read that one. Michael Van Gerwen, that felt fucking amazing. Sorry for the language, says Michael Van Gerwen. Ryan FTW says, Magic, Matic and Messi Lingard, yes, United. Josh Bates, can we have another 90 minutes? Yes. They said Ole destroyed Cardiff. He just did, says Dan O'Keefe, which is my favourite comment of the night so far. Absolutely superb. But look, I loved that performance from Manchester United. Please do drop a like on the video. It was absolutely superb. And we have got our club back. We've got our club back. And that is the bottom line. We've got our club back. Maybe it's only for 1 game. We should not get running away with ourselves. Of course we shouldn't. But who would have predicted we were going to pull a result in like that tonight? Who would have thought we were going to do something like that? It was absolutely magical. Players were free to play the way they wanted today, says Tom Millard. I just thought that Lingard, Rashford, Martial, Pogba were the exciting element of that football team for me. And, you know, excited to look at the table. Well, no, I wouldn't be excited about looking at the table, if I'm honest with you. I still think that the table is a little bit embarrassing in the context of where we want to be as a football club. But I'm still very, very, very happy. Talking about heat maps, I don't do heat maps on an instant match reaction. I'll do heat maps tomorrow for you, but I'm sure they're going to be very interesting. I'm not fucking heat map. You're all a bunch of weirdos. You're all heat map obsessed. I'm not doing heat maps now. I've just literally just come off a match reaction. I haven't even got my phone to get the heat maps out. Player ratings, says Kevin Back. Let's do the player ratings, and you can all join in. De Gea for me, 8. I mean, he didn't really have a lot to do, but he made a good couple of saves, and I don't want to give anyone less than an 8. Ashley Young, 8. I thought he did okay. Lindelof, 9. I just loved the way he came forward so many times and wanted to break into their half. That's really important, and he's very good at it. Phil Jones, an 8. Luke Shaw, an 8. Matic, an 8. Herrera, 8. I mean, remember, 6 out of 10's average, so 8, very, very good. 9's almost perfect. Pogba, 10. I'm going to give him a 10 out of 10. I've got to give him a 10 out of 10. He was involved in 4 goals and he put all the work in as well. Martial, 9. I thought that 3rd goal was lube football. It was electric lube. It was absolutely my favourite goal I've seen in a long time for United, because it showed us do something that I haven't seen us do for a long time. Fast, quick, one touch, taking a team apart from a position of they think they're in safety. It was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So Martial gets a 9 from me. He was fantastic. Lingard gets a 9. I think 2 goals and a good performance. It was a bit off in the first half an hour, but a lot of the team was. And Rashford, I'm tempted to give Rashford a 9. Sod it, let's give Rashford a 9. It's Christmas and we won 5-1. I thought, you know, again, Rashford probably should have scored a couple more, but the goal from the free kick, it didn't take a deflection. It was a brilliant hit. His work rate, his build-up play, I thought he was really good. Sharath Kamath Fitness says, first time in 3 years I didn't panic when they scored. Oh, the penalty was a joke. I thought it was an absolute joke, but I think he equalled it out. I think he did equal it out with the Lingard one, which technically I think both were penalties. I was just a little bit frustrated. But absolutely over the moon with that. Really, really, really pleased from Manchester United, and loved it, loved it. Anyway, we've got a call-in coming in 15 minutes. It's our first call-in in over a week. So you can talk about Mourinho, you can talk about the performance, you can talk about the club, you can talk about Pogba. It's our first call-in a while. The link is in the, it's not in the video description actually. Let me just get this going before we finish, because I haven't even made the video live yet, and then you can go into the live comments. So we'll get it up on the homepage for you. But please, please, please do drop a like on the video for Manchester United and the United Stand and yourself, because this week has just finished off perfectly. I think the last 4 days have been so positive in the change that United have made and the atmosphere that Ollie has generated around the club. And I think that the performance today, you know, was realistically the cherry on the cake, that we probably didn't expect it to be that good, and it was absolutely superb. So absolutely over the moon with that, over the moon with it. And yeah, really, really, really can't wait to take your calls at 8 o'clock. We've got the call in coming in at 8 o'clock. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. 8 o'clock, Discord, taking your calls on what has been an amazing week, and Solskjaer's won it. I'll speak to you all in about 15 minutes time. Thanks for watching.